All right, here we are, episode 14 of the Vegan Bikini Prep Diaries. Today we have a fun topic. You guys have been asking about it, relationships, how we manage our relationships during prep. But first, Belinda, how are you?
I'm good, Brooke. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I've had a good day today. Today was a rest day, so I had some good energy.
I'm happy for you. That's great. Good for
Thanks.
you. You deserve it, girlfriend.
Thanks. I know, even though I got a menstrual cycle, which was totally unexpected, 17 days late, and I had some spotting, and I was like, oh, okay, like that's interesting. And then next thing I know, I'm like, no, I got my cycle. But you know, hey, okay, let's get it out of the way because I may have this show here in a few weeks, so let's just get it out of the way.
Yeah, sure. Better that it comes now than on peak week and show day like me. So good for you.
Yeah. So I've joined your club. I'm like, oh my God, I know how Belinda feels because it's like, it's crazy. I'm this lean and I have a period, but like
Yeah,
we both keep saying, at least we're healthy-ish,
definitely. I would say that, this close to stage is not healthy by any means. It's really different than just being a fit chick. But the fact that we have our cycles is actually kind of impressive in a way. So it means we're not totally destroying our bodies for this crazy temporary hobby that we have. So yeah, all right. Hey, at least you got it now and not on show day. So that's that.
Exactly. Yes, that's all that matters.
And then in your planning for the next month, just be aware that it might be a factor. So just go about your business and planning and scheduling with the possibility that it might come again. So
I know. I was like, well, this is nice. Now I don't have to worry about it around my show. But now I'm like, oh crap, because I wanted to do the Atlanta Pro, which is like 5-ish weeks, and that's going to be close. But we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Are you 2.5-ish weeks out in theory?
Yes, 2.5.
2.5, or 4.5, or 3.5, somewhere targeting 2.5, but possibly 3.5 or 4.5. Is that where we're at?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what's the strategy for, well, first of all, how are you feeling? Well, I'm going to plug in your check-in photo. I think you look really good. I still think you need to chop off another layer.
Oh yeah.
I think you look really good though. I think that you're like well on your way. I think that you are definitely in striking distance, as we say in the bodybuilding world, which means like you're 10-ish days away from probably being stage lean, which is what we call in bodybuilding when we say striking distance. I think you're getting really close to there. I think you just have to keep on keeping on. You're at the point where every day matters and every day you're going to look a little bit different. So how are you feeling? Do you feel like you're on track? Is your body dysmorphia out of control? What's going on in that brain of yours?
I think if I keep on my diet and my cardio and really nail it the next 2 weeks, I think I'll be ready. I do. I'm already getting some good results just from chopping my carbs and my fats down a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I think I'll be able to do this Knoxville show. And like I said, if not, I could do the Nashville Fit show. I would like to at least give myself though a week off between shows because the Nashville Fit show is the week before the Atlanta Pro. So I would have to do back-to-back peak weeks, which is not really ideal.
Right.
I would rather do the Knoxville show and then do the Atlanta show. And because like, if I'm not lean enough, like I'm not going to be leaner in a week. So,
yeah, I agree with you completely. I think that 1 week, like a show on a Saturday and a show the next Saturday, it's like sort of pointless also because photos almost like look exactly the same. I know this from my first season. I did 2 shows back to back and it was like silly. Like I looked exactly the same in each photo and same like suit, same look. Like it was kind of
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
lot of like work and stress for no reason. Instead, every other week or every third week would be even more ideal because you can make a good amount of progress in like that 7 to 10 day window. Like right now, as you know, I competed July 4th. So it has been 10-ish days. The judges wanted me tighter. I'm in peak week now. I compete on Saturday. We're filming this on Tuesday, July 15th. Yeah, I got tighter. I did. In my back shot. I did. So I haven't stepped on the scale since my show day. Because I just don't need to. Like, it is what it is, man. I can't. This is not, boxing. I'm not a man where I could just go into a sauna and like sit there for 2 days straight and get water weight off because you can't do that in bodybuilding. You're working on a physique. You can't like sweat it off. It's different than boxing, which is like they're cutting water weight. We don't really do that in bodybuilding. Our weight doesn't actually matter when you go on stage. No one knows how much you weigh. So I'm just not going to get in my head. I am just crossing off each day, doing the thing. I will weigh myself the day I travel. Like I fly Thursday. I'm going to weigh myself Thursday morning before I go, just so like, I can, and I'll bring my scale with me because I do want to track like how I am the morning I leave, how I am the morning after I fly, and how much I weigh on show day. I do want to know these things. So for my data purposes, but I'm not going to get in my head. But I have not weighed myself in a solid week. This is a benefit or non-benefit of coaching yourself, depends how you look at it. I just know that I was going to get in my head if I still saw that number that is frustrating me. So I'm just not even bothering. Like, I know I
think
look
that's
tight.
smart.
I look tighter. I could see it in my back shot and I could feel it in my problem area, which is around like my upper thighs, like right around my glute, tie-in area, like all that upper thigh area, front and back, all that spot is where I'm holding all my fat and it is tighter. Like it's not as soft. So I'm doing the thing. But anyway, I agree with you to not do shows back to back if you can help it.
Yeah.
So all right. So you're just doing the thing and you're checking in 2 days a week or 3 days a week. How often is your coach looking at you?
Yeah, he's having me check in Monday, Wednesday, Friday now. So he did cut my macros. So my macros were at 170 protein, 80 carb, 30 fat, and now I'm at 170 protein, 20 fat, and 60 carbs. So that's a significant drop. Significant drop. But I actually like did not feel that hungry. Now I've only been doing it like a day, so I'm sure I'll probably get hungrier, but
where did you pull the carb from?
My Ninja Creamy. I know the sugar-free pudding mix. So I totally took that out and I had like a little bit of fruit on top of my Ninja Creamy with raspberries, which, has like hardly any carbs. Raspberries are like hardly anything, but like everything else in my diet, like all of my other carbs were just coming from other foods, like my proteins or my fat sources or, veggies. So that was really the only thing I was like, let me just take out the Ninja Creamy and that'll free up a good bit of carbs. So I just had to give that one up. But I'm like, okay, it's 2 weeks. I can do anything for 2 weeks.
You could do it. You can do it. It's hard, but you can do it and it will be worth it. I think, like I said, I think you're really, really close. How's your sleep?
My sleep, my sleep has gone down. And honestly, not that I've even noticed. I just keep track of all my data on my Aura Ring, and my REM is low. Sometimes my deep sleep is low. My restlessness is high. So it's definitely, my sleep is definitely going down. Not that I like notice I'm tossing and turning at night. I don't notice, like I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
But according to my data, my REM and my deep sleep are down.
So for peeps listening, the reason I'm asking about her sleep is because sleep quality is very reflective on hormones, and the macronutrient that controls your hormones are fats. So when your fat gets really low, your dietary fat gets very low in contest prep, dietary fat and body fat, right? Both. When you're not consuming much fat and you don't have much body fat, your sleep really starts to suffer. I usually about 6 weeks out, my sleep really starts to tank, and it's a real problem. Like I have a really hard time sleeping past 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm actually doing better this prep than my last prep. I couldn't sleep past 3 in the morning. So I'm actually doing better this prep, and I'm waking up somewhere between 4 and 4:30 naturally, which is better than last time. But yeah, that's why I'm asking you, because sleep, for anyone that has never competed and is maybe interested in it, just get ready that at the end, your sleep really starts to tank, and it's frustrating because it affects your physique. Because 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night, I would think most professionals like Brooke and myself would recommend is what is ideal to achieve optimal health and the way you look and the way you grow and recover in your muscle development. So it's frustrating in contest prep because you need the sleep to look good.
Yeah.
And
and you can tell the difference if you have a crappy night of sleep, and like now for people listening, when you're this lean, if you're 15 pounds, 20 pounds overweight, or even just like a normal healthy weight, you're not really going to notice this. But like when you're this lean and you have a crappy night of sleep versus a really good night of sleep, you will look completely different. That is the difference. And that's, that's why we always say stage lean is a totally different ball game. Like I shared a picture of what I look like on Reddit, and it's so funny because anytime I share what I look like on Reddit, people are like, you look ready, how could you be even leaner? And it's like, you guys don't understand, stage lean is totally different. So anyways, that to say, when you're like close to stage lean, the littlest things will change how you look. So I mean, I've been taking magnesium at night, 400 milligrams. I take 3 milligrams of melatonin. And occasionally, if I really need it, I just do like half a Unisom, and that really helps. And, I smoke weed, and that really helps. So,
yeah, I get it. So I take a half of a sleep aid. I don't take like Unisom brand. I just take whatever over the counter CVS or Amazon sleep aid. I take half of that. And I have been taking ashwagandha, and I've told you this, like the past month, and the data is incredible. It has really helped my sleep. Like I'm not necessarily, so I can't sleep over 7 hours, but it has improved my sleep quality. So that ashwagandha supplement has really, really, really helped my sleep quality. My sleep score is like in the 900s, which is unheard of when I'm this deep in contest prep. So that supplement has been really good. And as you know, and people listening that follow me, I'm not a supplement person, but that ashwagandha has really helped me. I'm going to put a little photo when I edit of which one I got, and it's been working out well for me. I will, when my body fat is back to a healthier level, I will pull it out because I don't like to take things I don't need, but it is helping at this moment in time. Okay, so you're doing the thing. You got a few more weeks to go, and just keep at it, man. Just keep going. So my update, I'm in peak week again, peak week number 4 of the season. This peak week feels very different for me because I feel like a high schooler about to graduate high school and be done for a very long time with school. And, I feel like I'm finishing my final exams. Like every single day is like the last day. I did yoga on Sunday, and like tomorrow morning is going to be my last cardio, and tonight is my last cardio at my commercial gym. I just feel like every day I'm like crossing off all these little things that it's like the end. So this peak week has been different because I'm almost done. I have definitively decided this is my last competition. So like I'm telling you, I'm telling the world, holding myself accountable. Like even if I'm one spot away from a pro card on Saturday, I will not be competing anymore this year. I just can't do it. My body is completely spent. It is kaput. Like the scale, even though I haven't been weighing myself, I'm sure it's not moving. My heart rate is no longer responding to cardio. I just can't do it anymore. I also don't have the money to do another show, to be honest with you. Like I could scrape together some money, but it would be pulling from, more important things that I want to spend the money on. So I need to be done. My husband is ready for me to be done. We'll talk about that in a second because that's the topic of today's podcast. But I can't do it anymore. I'm done. And my plans for the future will be decided on how Saturday goes. So on Saturday for me, for anybody that hasn't been following or wants to know the scoop, it is a pro qualifier. And I'm pretty excited because I'm quite close to a pro card. I'm in very close striking distance to possibly being a pro on Saturday. It may be my day, it may not be my day, but this is the closest I've ever been. So it's really exciting. And no matter how it goes for me on Saturday, it's been a great season. I've looked really great. Every single show I've improved. Every single show, there's something about my look or the process of stage or stage day that I've improved. And that's all that matters in the sport, is just getting better every single time you compete. And we'll see if it's my day or not. Time will tell, but I'm excited.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Yeah, really excited.
Yay.
And ready to be done. I leave Thursday morning. I'm halfway packed. I'll finish packing tomorrow. Excuse me.
Where is this one?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Okay. Yeah, not bad for you.
It will be judged by Tyler and Sandy again. So that works in my favor because they've been judging me all season. And how bodybuilding works is it is a sport of criteria. And when the judges give you feedback and you deliver on the criteria, you are often rewarded for it. I might not be the most shredded person up there, but I definitely am tighter. And that's what they wanted from me. So, yeah.
We'll see. You guys will find out. Well, not next week. The next week.
No, next week.
Well, yeah, if you guys,
I hear what you're saying.
On social media. Yes.
Got it.
Everyone watching on YouTube, go follow Belinda on social media, Vegan Body by Belinda, if you're not already, and you will find out then.
I hear what you're saying. Prep brain. That's another reason I can't compete anymore, because I have to go back to like a fully functioning member of society. I can't go on like this. Like the amount of things on my to-do list is a little bit frightening. My dining room looks like hoarders. It's bad. Like I gots to be done. Like I need time back in my day to get things done. And luckily, the little energy I do have, I make sure to do a good job at work. So actually, this year at work, I've done really well in prep. Like I haven't been feisty really, and I've kept my attitude in check and everything. So it's just like my personal life is, I have like things I need to do. So it's time to be done with prep. But anyway, so we have 20-ish minutes here. Let's go into our topic of today, which are relationships. Yeah. So
yes.
Brooke and I were talking before we hit record about how we would go about this. We wanted to start with partners because we feel that that's maybe what most of you meant when you were asking us like to address relationships in contest prep. So I'll preface by saying that Brooke and I are not single. Both of us are in relationships. I am married. I've been married for brain 4 years. I think next year is 5. Yeah, I've been married since 2021. So 4 years in November. And I've been with him almost 10 years. Dating him almost 10. And I think he's like been my official boyfriend like 9-ish years, because a year there, who knows like what was going on, right? So modern dating life, right? But we've been together a long time. And so I am not single. And Brooke is in a serious relationship also. You've been with him a few years, right?
Yes, 3 years in October.
And you live together. So we both live with partners in contest prep. And why this topic comes up frequently is because contest prep is a several month-long commitment. Any big athletic event you choose to do, let's say a marathon, let's say a high rocks race, let's say a triathlon or a CrossFit competition or a powerlifting competition, all of those things require training, right? Usually 8 to 12 week programs, so 2 to 3 months, and you have your little training program and you do your little things a few times a week, and maybe takes an hour or two, or maybe if you're marathon training, of your long run on Saturday. But that's like pretty much it. It doesn't, yes, it is a time commitment. You probably will not be sitting on the couch with your partner as much as you would be when you're not preparing for an athletic goal. Bodybuilding is a whole different animal because you have the diet. And anybody that's ever been on a fitness or weight loss or self-improvement journey with their nutrition knows that food is a very, very, very sensitive topic. It involves a lot of emotion. And when the person you live with, you don't share the same diet at all, and you can't go out to eat with them, which is going out to eat with your partner is one of the most classic ways to spend time together, right? Can't go out for date nights. Yeah, it can really take its toll.
Yeah.
And then in addition, and we'll talk about that in a second, but I just want to say one more thing before we go into all of this, is that the other transformative thing that happens in contest prep is you go from looking normal, like a normal fit chick, if you're starting contest prep in like a good place, physique wise, to looking like pretty wackadoo like that final month or two. Like you look really very different than the average person. Everybody is staring at you everywhere you go. Like you just don't look normal anymore. And in a traditional relationship, jealousy is a thing, and that also takes a little bit of and you're also on stage in a thong bikini. So like,
Yep.
it is not easy on the relationship, and it requires a lot from the partner to be on board with it. So those are just like 2 things of why this is such like a loaded topic. So
and I would say another thing, 2 other things that came to mind. You're not going to be traveling. You're not going to be going on vacation. So that can really impact couples who may travel a lot. Maybe your goals don't align there because, if it's just not smart to travel, or at least go on a vacation during a contest prep. And then also the hormonal changes. For both men and women, it's very common to lose your libido. to have no energy. So even if maybe you don't lose your libido, you just don't have a lot of energy. And like by the time, you know, everybody's home and home from work, you're just like over it. The last thing you want to do is light a candle and turn the lights down low sometimes. So yeah, there's so many things that can impact a relationship when it comes to contest prep. You do look like a different person, and you kind of are a different person because your energy is so low. You may be easily irritated. I know Steve said to me, we were on a walk the other day, and he just said, the worst part of it is that you're just not Brooke. Like, you're just not the Brooke that I know, So like
almost verbatim what Yemi, my husband, said to me my first contest prep.
Yeah.
So I will, to put a positive spin on all of this, because it sounds like it's so miserable, right? But a positive thing is that every contest prep, you get better if you're doing it right. So usually your first contest prep, you are the most Looney Tunes. You are usually a total raging, see you next Tuesday, raging you know what, to everyone and everything that comes in your path, because you've never been that lean before. You've never had to work that hard before for anything. So like it's a lot of emotion to handle your first contest prep. My first one, I was very poorly behaved at the end. Really, I was nasty. I was rude to him. Like anytime he opened his mouth to talk to me, I was like, I don't have time for this. And after it was done, he pulled me aside and said to me, Belinda, like, I loved seeing you get to stage. Like, I loved watching you prep, but you can't act like that anymore. You are not Belinda. That wasn't Belinda. And I was like, I hear you. I love bodybuilding. I definitely want to compete again, but I will do better. And my next prep, I got better. And my prep after that, I got better. My prep, now I'm on this, I guess, is my fourth prep, I guess. And I did a really good job this time. I did a really, really good job. I collected my thoughts before I said things. I communicated more. So like, if he sometimes, I could tell like he maybe wanted to have this big conversation with me about something going on in his life, because in prep, it's all about you, right? And it's hard to talk about anybody else and the things that they want to do. But I remember a specific time a few weeks ago where I could tell he wanted to talk to me about something important going on in his work. And I said, Yemi, I love you. I do not have the ability to have this conversation right now. Can it wait till tomorrow? Can it wait till this weekend? I cannot process this right now. And he said, no problem. So instead of snapping at him and telling him like, I'm rushing, I'm too busy, I got to go to the gym, I just collected my thoughts. I am unable to do this. I'm sorry. I love you. I just can't talk about this right now. So I think communication is key. Express like how you're feeling, like express that you're unable to have the serious talks. Express that you are quite tired, and tell them, for example, I'll just be real. Like the past month, I sleep in a different room than my husband. Just keeping it real, guys. Just keeping it real. So there's a few reasons for that. The main one is we have different bedtimes. So in contest prep, you have so much to do in a day. Do your list, Brooke, of everything you do in a day. Prep related.
Oh my God.
Yeah, let's just like give the peeps a real idea of what it takes to get to look like this. So you've got your morning cardio.
I mean, just contest prep. Like, let's not even like.
Don't even
Yeah.
include real life. Like, don't include work. Don't include like that
Yeah,
stuff.
50 minutes of cardio. And then I've got to come home, shower, eat, go back to train later. My training is usually an hour. And then I've got another 45 minutes of cardio, 15 minutes of posing, all my meals, eat all my meals, my stomach vacuums. I mean,
and you have to get your steps in, and you do that when you're working.
Get my steps in.
So I get my steps in when I'm working, but it's like it's encompassed in the day, and all of these things leave you very, very tired and fatigued. Like, if you're doing contest prep right, if you're truly getting stage lean, by 8 o'clock at night, you should probably be spent. Like, most bodybuilders in contest prep, men and women, are in bed usually somewhere between like 8:30 and 10 p.m. on average. Maybe they might have a different schedule and start their day later, maybe, or whatever, but you know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that they get to bed early. So I just I have to be in bed earlier than my husband. Like, I have to be in bed between 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. because I have such a full day the next day. I must sleep. I must. So, like, even if I go to bed earlier in the marital bedroom, like, if my sleep is so sensitive when I'm this lean, like, so even if I'm sleeping at 9:30 and he goes in there at 10:30 to get ready for bed, do his things, brush his teeth, do all the things, get into bed, get cozy in bed, and, rustle around in the covers, he'll wake me up and my whole sleep will be like destroyed. So I just sleep in here at the end of contest prep most nights. Some nights, if we go to sleep at the same time, we will sleep in the same bed. And then in addition, the other thing that goes on with that is that he travels a lot for work. And what happens when you travel? You get cooties. And you bring the cooties from the plane, and wherever he is, trade shows or big offices or the plane, and you bring all that home. And I can't get sick right now, knock on wood. I want to avoid getting sick. So there's like a few reasons why I have to sleep in the second. So my dog thought I was knocking. Somebody knocked on the door. So yeah, we sleep in separate rooms at the end, because that's just the reality of it, Brooke. Like, I can't manage otherwise.
Yeah, well, everyone has what works for them. And if that's what keeps your relationship alive, then that's what you need to do. I know for me and Steve, I'm lucky that Steve is an ex-bodybuilder. He competed when he was young. For people who don't know, because Steve does not like social media and he's not on social media. He's a good bit older than me. But he competed in his college days, but that's kind of where our friction with competing comes. He is not a fan of the sport, mostly just because he doesn't like the drugs. He doesn't like what it does to your body, the hormones. He watched it absolutely wreck me my first prep. So he was terrified that something terrible was going to happen to me this prep. Of course, he was really happy that I mostly took control of my prep and didn't hire some asshole coach. And he's helped me a lot. But that was more so like me and Steve's problem. Luckily, our schedules align beautifully. He is totally cool with going to the gym for 2 hours. He's like, yeah, like, cool. I can do abs and I can stretch and I have time to do the bike. Like, he's totally down. And our food. He loves to eat clean. He is like even cleaner than I am. I'm a foodie, so it's like hard for me to be in prep. I'll be like, oh my God, like, I can't wait to eat this. I can't wait to eat that. He could care less. Like, he does not have any sort of emotional attachment to food. And so we had a talk one time and he was like, look, if you need to get really strict, I'm good with that. I can eat whatever. I make dinner for both of us. I just give him rice. I don't eat the rice. I put olive oil on his food. I don't put it on mine. So I make it work. But like Steve wants to travel. He wants to do other things besides, spend 6 months of the year stuck in the house, going to the gym, living our normal life. So, he's been a little bit frustrated with that. He's like, man, I really want to go like on our trip. I want to go see my family. And like, well, you can go see your family. He's like, but they want to see you, like, but you're doing your prep stuff. So that has caused some friction. And, I mean, really, really, that's mostly, and I don't get snappy. I don't really get that way, but his issue is that I'm not as energetic. I'm not as playful and as fun. Like, I don't crack jokes. I'm not as like quick-witted.
I have the same situation in my
Yeah.
relationship. And would you say that the most important way to get through the contest prep with your relationship intact is communication? Telling him, hey,
100%.
I've got 4 more weeks. Hey, I've got a month and a half left. Like, thank you for supporting me with this. I know it's taking a lot out of our relationship, but this is the home stretch. And I think communication is super, super, super important. I know
Totally agree.
we've only got like 5-10 minutes here. But I'll just say that I texted you this, that Yemi and I actually had a talk on Sunday. Yemi said to me, and he brought this up, which I thought was interesting. I don't know why, but he did. And he said, hey, so like, I know your season's almost done. I know you've got 1 week left. And I have to tell you that when you're in prep, I am better. I'm better with my food. I'm better with my sleep. I'm better with going to the gym. Sidebar, Brooke and I are both fortunate that we both have partners that live a very similar lifestyle to us. We both are in relationships with gym rats. We're not in relationships with couch potatoes. If you are, we can discuss that on another episode, maybe, like how to handle relationships where the person is nothing like you at all. Even though that hasn't been my situation, I certainly have dealt with enough clients, and you have too, where that's been their situation, so we could speak on that. But we're both in relationships with somebody that, people that live like a very similar fit lifestyle. Anyway, so Yemi said to me, like, listen, like when you're in prep, I am better. I wanted to talk to you about how we're going to go about the food when you're not in prep anymore. What are you thinking? And I said, actually, so that's a good point. I was thinking that, in sidebar, again, another sidebar, I've been in prep since January. That means that my husband and I have not gone out to eat in Chicago since 2024, people. I'm just being real. Like, people listening that want to do a prep, get ready, because you don't go out to eat. Okay, let me backtrack. We did go out to eat a little bit when my parents visited, so I did take a break here and there. But for the most part, no going out to eat, because he doesn't want to go out to eat with me and watch me eat a garden salad. Okay. Like, he'd rather be at home. At least I can eat foods that I can eat at home. So I said to him that I was thinking that maybe what we could do is, one date night a month out at a restaurant and whatever, and one meal delivery a month. So 2 outside meals a month. What do you think? And he said, that sounds great. That's exactly what I was thinking. And he said that he wants to split dessert.
Perfect.
And I said, that's a great idea. Let's do that. And he said, because Belinda, like, honestly, I feel better when I eat better. I feel better when I eat clean. I feel healthier. I feel more confident at work. I look better. I'm happier. And I said, I feel the same way. And I want to say that, like, it might sound like that's disordered, but is it though, guys? Like, being healthy is not disordered. Like, not binge eating every weekend and trying every restaurant under the sun. Like, if you want to do that, that's fine. Go do you, like, live your life if that's your thing. It's not my thing. I love to cook. I know how to cook healthy food, tasty, healthy food. Brooke is the same way. We're both foodies, Aquarius twins with our silly recipes that we come up with all the time. And we love like sharing that stuff with each other. We both love to cook. My husband loves my cooking. I'm fine with that. And honestly, like, I'd rather be home with my husband and my dogs than going out to eat and eating things that don't taste that good and I'm going to regret later. Not regret for food guilt, but regret for the way they'll make me feel physically. Because between being a healthy eater, I react poorly to like a lot of greasy food. I don't do well with that. I also have Crohn's disease, for those that do not know that. Sometimes eating a restaurant meal that was cooked like in dirty oil or something, or having like too much sugar in a dessert, sometimes I could have a flare and I might be in the bathroom for 3 days. So it isn't necessarily only because of bodybuilding. It's also like how I physically feel. So we came up with that together. We're going to try and stick to it. So that's kind of interesting that we've already game planned how we're going to handle my reverse. So that's cool. And
Yeah.
I'm happy that I have somebody that is like willing to go down this path with me.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, go ahead.
piggybacking off of the communication, I think that's really key. I think that's number one. And like for me and Steve, that's exactly like, because Steve gets in his head. He's not a great communicator. I'm a great communicator. I mean, I'll just give myself that one. I know I am, but I mean, I'll just tell him like, look, I'm this way because I'm in prep. I'm hungry and I'm tired, but I'm not irritated with you, because he poor guy, he texted me one day and he was like, I feel like I'm getting on your nerves like everything and everyone else is. And I'm like, Stevie, no, I love you. I love you so much. I look forward to seeing you every day. You make all of this so much easier and so much better. I'm just tired and I'm just, out of it. So I think just communicating and like letting the person know, hey, it's not you, it's me.
Definitely
And then,
communication. Yeah, positive affirmation too. Like,
yes.
I think that was really good what you said to him. Like, I love you. I appreciate you. Like, those little things, prep or no prep, like, what feels better than that, And
Right.
when you're in a long-term relationship, you forget to say those things a lot of the time, prep or no prep.
Yeah, and just make time with what you can do, with what you have. So like we will go to the park together, he'll ride his bike and I'll walk and we'll talk, like we'll go to the movies. He just doesn't get popcorn so it doesn't tempt me, but like we just get out of the house and go to the movie. We have gone to restaurants and I've just gotten like a miso soup, or like I have gotten a salad and just brought in my own seitan, like here and there, if we just are like, God, we need to get out of the house, like, but we just make it work. So I would say, make time, if you could do a gym date, or if you could do a cardio date, a park date, walk the dog, get your steps in together, and just open communication. I feel like that's the most important part.
Yeah, I would say that those are great suggestions. I also, before we hang up this call, I'll just throw out some non-food related date ideas that I have in the back of my head. And I've also posted these in the Bikini Reddit before. I think I did it last year. I'm not going to sit here and pull it up. It would take time. But so like mini golf, go-karts, bowling, arcades, like Brooke said, walks, like hikes, bike rides, botanical gardens are great. Botanical gardens are really good ones because they're fun and pretty, and like kind of get your steps in. They're kind of like romantic, and you can usually bring your food and like have a picnic somewhere, have a show, a TV show that you both only watch. So that's like a thing to do like every Friday night, you guys watch, I don't know, Breaking Bad from start to finish, like something like that. Yeah, those are just like little things that you could do that are not food related, where you're spending time together. Board games, card games, puzzles, things like that. I'm a little fortunate that my husband, poor thing, he works really, really hard. He works, I'm not going to say 60 hours a week because that sounds a little sad, but let's just say it's a lot. He works a lot, travels a lot. So on the weekend, he often just kind of wants to chill and hang out. So it's kind of lucky for me as a bodybuilder because that's what I want to do. But I do have those like non-food related ideas in my head that I could pull out at any time. Mini golf, bowling, botanical gardens, things like that. And then if you feel like you're going to be tempted with food when you're out, and I say this to clients too, just eat before you go out. Don't like leave the house starving. Eat your meal as close to going out as you can. That way, when you're out, you're like full and you're not thinking about food. And then pack snacks or another meal with you. That way, when you're out, and maybe if the schedule gets a little wonky, you're not like freaking out and you ruin the whole date because you're a crazy bodybuilder that like needs to get their meal. Like, just bring things with you so you can be somewhat normal when you're out. And another thing I think is important too, and I'll just kind of close with this, and then you can close with some closing thoughts too, Brooke. It's important maybe to have a vacation or a weekend away on the calendar a few weeks after you compete. We're going to be talking about reverse dieting in detail very, very soon. You don't want to go on vacation immediately after you compete. That's just asking for trouble with your reverse diet. But maybe like a solid month, honestly longer, 2 months after you compete. How about 6 weeks, maybe a weekend away, a solid month and a half away from your after you finish competing, maybe have a nice little weekend away on the calendar with your person. And that way you have it to look forward to. You do all the planning, you the competitor or you the lifestyle gym rat girly who's focusing on her macros and her training and really prioritizing that. Whatever your situation is, like, and you're finishing your cut or whatever, get something on the calendar for the future. That way you have that to look forward to.
Yeah. Yep. We have a trip in December. We're going to go to St. Augustine and see, they have like very famous Christmas lights, and we love Christmas and Christmas lights. That's like our thing. So we're going to do that in St. Augustine with his family. And then we're trying to plan a trip to St. Lucia. That's like our couples trip, our one-on-one trip.
Nice.
But I'm like, okay, when am I going to be done competing? Because I don't want to be like a bloat bag, rebounding off my show. So like you said, like try to plan
it's a moving target. But I hope these tips were good. I know we might have been like a little all over the place. We are deep in prep, guys. So like bear with us, and our brain power is minimal. But hopefully you've related to some of this. Communication is key. Prep is a huge commitment. Huge commitment. Your partner's going to either be on board if they're not. And if they're not, that is something that you're going to have to decide on your own if it's worth it or not. With any goal you have in life, contest prep or not, any goal that you have, if your partner is not on board with it, it's your life at the end of the day.
Yep.
Your partner is important, but you are the most important person in your life. So you have to decide what is the most important thing to you and what's worth it to you and what sacrifices you're willing to make and things like that. These tips were more so if the fact your partner is kind of cool with you competing, how do we go about it? But it's a learning experience. Give yourself grace. It takes a few seasons and a few contest preps to get to the point where Brooke and I are at. The first one was definitely a little rocky, but hopefully if you've never competed before and you're thinking about it, listening to people like Brooke and I talk about it, hopefully you learn a thing or two and have some tools in your back pocket that you can use as you go through the months of being a little hangry and a little tired when sharing your life with somebody. So
yes, hopefully this was helpful. And if you guys have any questions, as always, let us know in the comments. And we will see you guys next time for Belinda's show recap, her final show recap.
whew, finally. Can't wait. All right. Bye, everybody.
All right. Bye guys.
Bye.